International Skating Union has allowed Russian figure skaters to apply for the 2026 Olympic qualifying tournament. It will be held in September in Beijing. There was no vote. There was testing the waters. For example, at the Paris Olympics, the ISU president talked to many federations, asked for their informal opinion. Many large federations are not happy with this decision. There was no initiative from below. According to information, this is the influence of the International Olympic Committee, which put a lot of pressure on the ISU and asked that neutral athletes from Belarus and Russia participate in the Olympic Games. This is definitely not an initiative of any other federations. Because let's be honest, allowing neutral skaters from Russia is potentially -4 medals. For large federations, this is inconvenient. I don't know how Adelia Petrosyan would look against the world's top skaters, Kaori Sakamoto or Amber Glenn, or in general on the Olympic arena, at a time when the stakes are extremely high. Because of the good news that has arrived from the ISU, one can at least fantasize about it. But against the background of her rivals from Russia, with all due respect to Gorbacheva, Muravyova, Sadkova, and Akateva, Petrosyan looks like a girl from another sport. Her crushing victory at the Russian Championships, an almost 30-point gap, is not at all a marker of the low level of competitors. Both Sadkova and Gorbacheva went for 2 Ultra SI in their free program. Muravyova probably gave the most emotional performance of her career, and Akateva was also incredibly good, even without quads or a triple axel. Petrosyan skated last and seemed to devalue all the admiration. Everything was wonderful, amazing, and magnificent. The route from Petrosyan is not at all in the numbers and mushrooms judges' compliments to Tutberid's team, as is often the case. It is in every step and in every episode. If her short program looks like a pretentious object of modern art, then the free program is a good old classic. Adelia copes with the most difficult technical elements at the beginning, 2 quad toe loops, one in a cascade with a double, so lightning fast as if she is apologizing. Wait, be patient a little. I will now jump cleanly to win. And then the most interesting part will come. At the and then stage, after the most important jumps, many can hardly breathe, but Petrosyan begins the party. It would be easier for everyone if she had such an annoying bug of a typical young figure skater who is given technique, if she were only a jumper. But this is not the case at all. In the short program, you suspect this in the mind-boggling, phantasmagoric step sequence, where so many choreographic moves and embellishments are mixed together at the speed of light that you want to put the video on 0.25 speed to see everything. In the free program, when the not-too-distracting Nocturne by Jon Batiste replaces the tango by Astor Piazzolla Yo Sio Maria, you finally understand who Petrosyan is. After the performance, she herself admits that after 2 quads she felt emotionally lighter. It was noticeable, as it is always noticeable when such skaters catch courage. For the rest of the program, Petrosyan smashes the level of everyone who went on the ice before her, and at the same time, it seems, the level of today's women's skating in general. No one has such spins. It seems that even the recognized king of spins of the century, Stefan Lambiel, would applaud. No one approaches jump so interestingly, complexly, and almost like a trick. Petrosyan seems to perceive the step sequence as an artistic performance. In such a highly regulated, unified figure skating they are less and less interesting to watch, but Adelia raises the bar to the ozone layer. She is beautiful by any criterion, even by the insignificant play of the teeth of her skates in the accent to the music, even by the straight back, even by how quickly and precisely her arms and body move in tango. She really gets into this dizzying tango, which is so easy to miss, so easy to spoil, so easy to turn into just music and not a program, if you are not fast enough, not passionate enough, if there is not enough fire in your eyes. But Petrosyan and her tango infect with an incredible mood, as if echoing the news of the skaters' return to the international arena. As if you can look to tomorrow again, as if there is not total darkness and destruction ahead, as if there is meaning in the future, and therefore in the present. Because this talented girl, who has found herself at a time when many have no future, may perform at the Olympics. Because the luxurious G-Drive Arena in Omsk is too small a platform for her grand performance. The music stops with the final hurricane spin, the audience explodes with a roar and jumps up, and Petrosyan gives free rein to her emotions, clenching her fists. This reaction reveals Adelia almost more than her programs. She is not restrained at all. I don't care what is customary. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care about ethics. You can't hold back the joy of victory. Petrosyan's adrenaline rush reached Ettore Tutberidze, who gave her widest smile of all time. And usually well-spoken Adelia, in a flash interview with Alexei Yagudin, was having trouble putting words together from delight. If anyone should win the main event at this historic championship, during which our figure skating is coming out of isolation, it is this girl. Everything that is so often present in Tutberidze skaters and in the air, notes and symbolism of melancholy, depression, uncertainty, tragedy and anxiety, existential crisis and disappointment. Everything that is so easy to succumb to in this era. Everything that is so unsuitable for Petrosyan. Everything that is completely absent from her programs. Take last year's life-affirming Jackson. It seems to have evaporated, gone along with the fog, obsession, dirty snow, and only delight, courage, and a few minutes of happiness remain. Women brought intrigue to the Russian championships. There was everything. A brilliant performance by Adelia Petrosyan, a breakthrough by Daria Sadkova, and 4 contenders for bronze, all within 2 points. In Omsk, Russian girls reminded us that a twisted plot can happen not only in the unpredictable men's skating. And if Petrosyan's first place was not in doubt, the other medalists reacted emotionally to their own performances and results. Daria Sadkova broke through to silver after 5th place and an awkward fall in the short program. In the free program, she pulled herself together and cleanly performed 2 quadruple toe loops. After the performance, she covered her face with her hands and almost cried. The coaches thought that the judges had given her too little. Daniil Gleikengaz said so, and Ettore Tutberidze added, "Not serious." Although Daria herself was pleased, and she perceived each step up the table with surprise. Alina Gorbacheva's bronze was dramatic. She also went for 2 quads. The quad Salchow in the cascade was under-rotated, and Alina fell on the solo. At the very end of the program, she also did a butterfly on a Rittberger, thereby losing a lot of points. After the performance, she burst into tears on Sofia Fedchenko's shoulder, who calmed her down like a child. Shoo, you know what you need to do to make it work. In the kiss and cry, Alina could not hold back her tears. The coaches calmed her down. Gorbacheva's scores appeared, and in a few seconds, almost a drama occurred. In the waiting room, Sadkova did not believe that she had at least silver. At the same time, Gorbacheva did not yet see that she also had a medal. But Sofia Muravyova seemed to understand everything and became sad. Seeing the gap from Gorbacheva, Muravyova grabbed her head. She was only 0.02 points away from the medal. And Gorbacheva's tears of sadness turned into tears of joy. In general, this free program was unusually emotional for Muravyova. The always self-critical and serious Sofia relaxed this time. She even smiled after the program. And she was happy for Sadkova when it became clear that Daria would definitely have a medal. But Sofia herself fell a little short of her 3rd podium in a row at the Russian Championships. It seemed that all the emotions were over. Ahead was only the performance of Adelia Petrosyan, who arrived as the main favorite and confidently led after the short program. She gave a perfect free program, more than 100 for technique, a triple axel, 2 quadruple toe loops, all 4th level spins. But after the final pose, Adelia also broke through. She clenched her fists and shook them victoriously. And she exhaled, while the coaches rejoiced at their 2nd victory in a row. The always reserved Tutberidze did not hide her jubilation this time. Petrosyan had not even left the ice, but she began to sob. And immediately fell into the arms of Ettore, who praised Petrosyan. Well done, well done. She cried on Gleikengaz's shoulder, too. Sergei Dudikov also got hugs. Petrosyan with personal records, 177.14 in the free program and 262.92 in total. Here he is, the champion's kick.